Welcome to the lounge, everyone. My name is Toby Roydell, and today we get a little bit political, as it is quite interesting what is happening right now with the far right in Germany and their supporters. It is all over the news in German-speaking countries and has piqued quite some interest from other regions in the world. But what happened? The German platform for investigational journalism, Korrektiv, infiltrated a meeting that was not meant for the public ear whatsoever. Politicians of the German party AFD, the Alternative for Germany, how they call themselves, and a few people with important connections and a lot of money were the key protagonists of said meeting. Korrektiv afterwards went on to publish on their website what they heard and what they saw. They went really deep into it. They told the public which people were involved, had photos of them, and did exactly know and tell the public what they said. So what was said? The whole thing, by the way, if you want to read for yourself, will be linked in the description below. It's on German, however, translated into any language you need. It's very spicy. And I can only get the gist out of the video, and I tried to get the gist out of it and present it here, but it is spicy, so check it out for yourself. Let's start with the main part. People with the wrong skin colors and the wrong ethnical backgrounds should be remigrated. That's a classical term for kicking people out of Germany who gained the right to stay here and even have German passports. They don't care for that. A female AFD politician and part of the German parliament for the AFD claims that this has been a plan of hers for years. Furthermore, it is claimed that the view in the streets, when you walk the German streets, they need to be tidied up. More than questionable comment. Again, what follows is a complete conspiracy against the state. Plans to undermine state organizations and the funding and the fundraising of money against or for campaigns against free journalism. They conspire against the state court, which they don't accept, against the constitution itself, and of course they don't think elections are being held in the right way because, quote, young Turkish women should not be part in German elections because they simply don't know enough. Another plan of the members of this very questionable meeting is to influence younger people on platforms like TikTok or YouTube. Covered as normal political messages, the underlying tone is to radicalize people and unite them against foreigners of all kinds. Pure discrimination. One of the speakers, who is regularly applauded by the others, is a violent offender who has been sentenced multiple times by court. If this is the trustworthy politician you're looking for to vote, I can't help you anymore. The AFD, much like many other different radical groups, are known to be having assassination lists. These assassination lists are meant to be carried out in case the government is overthrown somehow, however they mean to do it, but in case it happens, these lists are to be executed. The main reason behind is while the public is in uproar or disarray, they in silence execute any and eliminate any opposition that could be there, and until the public realizes it is too late. Scaringly, this is a very effective strategy. This is to be taken seriously, and it is dangerous because it is very effective. And it is effective because we know that it happened many times in the past, and when it happened and was carried out thoroughly, it was very effective. And by the end, there was simply, like they chopped off the head of any opposition, and the opposition couldn't form anymore and was kind of helpless. This whole thing is worrying. I mean, they directly, openly talked about attacking state organizations, undermining the law, not caring for a constitution, and influencing and manipulating public opinion by direct and straight disinformation. Like they admitted it. I mean, this is as close as you can get to a Fourth Reich. And this obviously is the cursed dream of some fanatics. Just look at Russia. Is this the place you want to live in? I could make a whole different video about the topic of Nazi wording and language, as this is a main part of understanding what is going on here and understanding the slight transitions into different ideology. But this video already is so long, it would be a completely different videos. But language, such weird and pretty much disgusting language, is being used more and more frequently by a lot of people, and this is scary to me. People who really make fun of German fascism and what they are capable of, and this mostly goes for Americans and non-Europeans in my book, you have no clue what they're capable of. They are not your average terrorist group who does a few bomb attacks here and there and kills a few hundred hostages. And they are certainly not cool or edgy with their fancy dressing. No. They will not rest a single second until your head is on a pike when you happen to land on one of their lists. And you can land there quite easily. Let me just remind you of a certain character named Hans Lander of the movie Inglourious Basterds. This character is not an exaggeration, it's not a caricature, and certainly not a joke. Let me remind you, when a German does something, they do it 120%. What are the consequences of these AFD revelations? I hope that every single time that things like these get revealed, some people wake up. Steadily, like more and more. I'm not giving myself to the fantasy that one day they will just dissolve and all will be happy and dandy. These ideologies were always here and they will always be here. I know very well where this whole thing can lead. I spent time acquiring knowledge about especially Nazi ideology for thousands of hours throughout my whole life. If you think that you can benefit from them, if you support them, or even change your life to the better when they are in charge, you are a fool. Let me tell you a quick anecdote. One of Hitler's, let's say, friends at that time was Ernst Röhm. Ernst Röhm was gay. And as we all know, Nazis hate homosexuals. They really hate them. But Hitler covered him and even made him an important figure in his merciless gang, the Sturmabteilung. Röhm later tried to prevent a really strict law against homosexuals to be implemented and tried to use his position to do something here, to save people. And Hitler had him murdered. He didn't need Röhm anymore. You are completely dispensable. Individuals don't matter. You are simply a tool for them to use in order to gain complete control. If you don't need it anymore, if you are deemed useless or even a danger, just get rid of you. Who cares about an individual? The Reich, the Führer. That's what counts, not you. The last time such an ideology was followed passionately, a whole country was destroyed and a generation ruined. There was nothing left besides complete and utter extinction in Germany. At least we didn't get the atomic bomb dropped onto our heads back then. That's the only saving grace. Although we might have deserved it. Thanks to the Americans on that one, I guess. Even the slightest chance of these things coming back should make people walk the streets. And they do walk the streets. In masses. And rightfully so. More will follow. Because people want to send the message that they do not tolerate such intolerance. Never again is a famous slogan repeated all the time as it is directly linked to this part of our history. Never again. Never again. Let's make it really simple for those needing a quick message and a quick conclusion. If we follow the path of the AFD, their ideology or their supporters, we will all die. I will die in war. My neighbor will die and be murdered because he has a disability. A friend of mine will die and will be murdered because he's a Jew. And another one will be murdered because he's gay. With any election, right now we still have a very simple choice. But let me tell you one thing. If we follow the path of the AFD and their ideology, there will be no victory. There will only be der Untergang.